How's a major chord made?
1, 3, 5.
How's a minor chord made?
1 flat and a third, fifth.
Now we'll go on to scales. Can you construct the pentatonic minor scale?
1 flat and a third, 4, fifth, flat and 7th, 8th.
And the blues scale?
1 flat and a third, 4, flat and a fifth, fifth, flat and 7th, 8th.
Very good. Open your eyes now. That's very good.
We will now check out if all 30 key signatures can be worked out in full correctly. Here we have an ABRSM publication, The AB Guide to Music Theory Part 1 by Eric Taylor. On page 26 we have key signatures. For some reason they only go up to 6 sharps and 6 flats. This is a total of 28 key signatures. At Gap Music Teaching, we teach all 30 key signatures. We will now check out a few random key signatures and see if they correspond to ABRSM music publication. Here we have highlighted our key signatures containing 5 sharps. Mia, a Year 5 pupil from St Christopher's Primary in Codsall, has filled in this test paper. I must point out she was only taught the basic musical alphabet that contains just 12 notes. This will prove that when learning music using Gap Music teaching methods, they use and know all 21 notes used in music, not the basic 12 notes. All of this in primary music education. Here she has indicated that this is in the key of B major or G sharp minor. According to the ABRSM publication, 5 sharps is in the key of G sharp minor or B major. That is 100% correct. We will now rearrange the layout and bring in our other key signatures test paper. This test paper indicates that Mia has been taught where every note is on the grand staff. Not only that, but she fully understands key signatures and knows what accidental notes to play in all 30 key signatures. Here we have highlighted key signatures containing 5 flats. Mia has indicated that this is in the key signature of D flat major or B flat minor. Here we have a count of 5 flats on our test paper. Now let's check out our ABRSM publication. ABRSM indicate that 5 flats indicate that this is the key signatures of B flat minor or D flat major. That is 100% correct. We will now enlarge the test paper. Mia has indicated that the accidental notes used in these 2 key signatures are B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat and G flat. The ABRSM publication has indicated that these 5 notes are used in these key signatures. That is 100% correct. Marie Besant, OCR GCSE author, confirmed test papers like these showed to her at the 2016 Music Expo were a 100% pass at GCSE music theory. So why has she not informed the government education officers that it is now possible to teach primary pupils to read sheet music composed in any key signature in primary school music lessons? Here in Doc J536, the school music curriculum, she only wants 6 key signatures learnt. How can she expect children to compose music if they are not taught what notes to use or what key signature to compose their song in? Unbelievable. Now we will look at our final key signature. Mia has indicated that 6 sharps is in the key of signature of F sharp major or D sharp minor. The ABRSM publication states that this is in the key of F sharp major or D sharp minor. That is 100% correct. Abel conform with the music curriculum. OCR GCSE Music Specification J536 2012. The author of these papers was Marie Besant. These test papers are designed to be filled in with any random key signature. This test paper was filled in the key of A. This was filled in with the key of B. The arrows on doc J535 show it complies with sharps, flats and natural notes. It also complies with the other modules listed. We will cover these now. Intervals, chromatic scale, major scale, blues scale are not listed the pentatonic minor scale. Every one of these scales can now be worked out. This test paper, along with others, were given to those responsible for education at the City Council. It would appear that Mr Smalley, the head of Wolverhampton Music Service, has lied to City Council Education Office. This is malfeasance in public office and a criminal offence. Now we have Mr Smalley giving deliberate false information to Duke Connell, a lead lawyer at Wolverhampton City Council. All of this so they can protect the funding by fraud and deception. Here we have the chromatic scale in the key of B. Here it is pulled from the basicmusictheory.com website. The child is using the starter music alphabet. This contains the 12 basic musical notes, so we will accept harmonic equivalents. She is a beginner in music lessons. She has named all 13 notes correctly. Now move on to the intervals. Unison, minor second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, diminished fifth, perfect fifth, minor six, major six, minor seven, major seven, octave. That is a perfect pass. The school curriculum only requires about 6 or 7 of these to be learnt. The major scale: B, C sharp, E flat, E, F sharp, A flat, B flat, B. That is 100% correct. We will now check it matches the intervals. Number 2, C sharp equals major 2. Correct. Number 5, F sharp equals perfect fifth. Correct. Finally, number 7, B flat equals a major 7. Correct. We will now check the chords. A major chord: B, E flat, F sharp. That is correct. B minor chord: B, D, F sharp. That is correct. A B sus4 chord: B, E, F sharp. That is correct. And finally, B major 7 is B, E flat, F sharp, B flat. That is 100% correct. We will now check our pentatonic minor scale in the key of B. The notes we have are B, D, E, F sharp, A and B. We will now check the blues scale. The notes we have are B, D, E, F, F sharp, A and B. That is 100% correct. We have just proved that Mr Smalley is a liar. He has lied in a witness statement that will be used in court action against me. Mr Smalley has deliberately victimised and targeted me so he can carry out fraud and deception. We will now look at how. Here is a statement Emma Reynolds gave to the police on the 22nd of March 2019. It reads: She has stated that although she does not want to meet with him, he has persisted in trying to arrange to see her. She has expressed concerns for the offender's mental health and is worried about possible repercussions. Wolverhampton City Council legal team hid this witness statement in the police log files. They knew if my legal team read this, the witness statement made to police by Kate Pritchard would prove this is false evidence given to police. The police have taken this statement very serious and believe I am a threat to Emma Reynolds and her staff. Because of this false statement, this is what happened according to Alexandra Watts, Wolverhampton City Council legal team solicitor. It reads, Number 38. As a result of this incident, the Parliamentary Protection Force has become involved, and the defendant was also arrested on the morning of Saturday the 23rd of March. I will now prove that I have not committed any crime. All I have done is make 6 attempts to make a 45-minute meeting with my MP, Emma Reynolds, over a 6-month period. I will prove that no one informed me that Emma Reynolds, MP, did not want to meet me. Every time I spoke to Kate Pritchard, she always informed me the appointment book was full. She deliberately lied to me. I will prove that the police were given false information. Emma Reynolds MP only allows a 15-minute meeting. I had 2 meetings with her, and after the 15 minutes was up, she would not allow any more time. I pointed out to Kate Pritchard that this was totally inadequate and requested a 45-minute meeting to look at the evidence correctly. On the 5th visit, I took an ABRSM Grade 8 music teacher. He informed Kate Pritchard everything in the test papers were correct. Why did Kate Pritchard ignore this evidence and fail me? Here is Kate Pritchard's witness statement in full. It was supplied to me by Wolverhampton City Council legal team. Well after I was arrested on the morning of Saturday the 23rd of March. This statement is dated the 27th of March. On the 24th of March, when I was interviewed by police, they already had a witness statement from Kate Pritchard. So there's something wrong going on here. We will now read it out in full. Now see if you can work out when Kate Pritchard informed me that Emma Reynolds does not want to see me. I hope you have those special spy glasses that can read things written in invisible ink. Her statement reads, Number 1. I am the office manager in Emma Reynolds MP's constituency office. I have held this post for around 6 months. I am responsible for managing the office and the caseworker and communications officer who also work there. I make this statement from my own knowledge except where otherwise stated. Number 2. I was aware the defendant had an open case with Emma for some time. I recognised him as I had had some previous dealings with him and knew that he could be difficult to deal with. I am aware that he can also be verbally aggressive, although until this incident happened I have never experienced this myself. Number 3. On the morning of Tuesday the 19th of March 2019, I was in the office and the doorbell went. I identified through the CCTV that it was the defendant at the door. I said to the team that I would go and answer the door and talk to the defendant, because I knew the team were apprehensive about seeing him, so I decided as the manager that I should answer the door. Number 4. The defendant came into the foyer area. He asked if he could see Emma at her surgery on 22nd of March 2019. I then said I did not think there were any appointments, so I went into our secure office area to check. After a minute or so, I went back to the defendant and advised him that there were no appointments left. The defendant then asked if he could see her the following week. I explained that there wasn't a surgery that week. The defendant then said he would be happy to go and see her in Parliament. I explained that Emma was not able to see constituents for surgery appointments in Parliament, as she held surgeries in her constituency only. I later found out that in a previous week, the defendant had turned up at Parliament to see Emma, and had been turned away. The defendant then came distracted by a poster advertising local councillor surgeries, and he recognised Councillor Butt. He pointed to Councillor Butt, and in doing so he leaned in quite close to me. He then referenced that he had been at a PAC meeting and was derogatory about Councillor Butt. He was ranting that Councillor Butt had not been helpful. He then mentioned Councillor Claire Sim, who had also been at the PAC meeting, and mentioned that she had been smiling at him throughout the meeting, and he would like to wipe the smile off her face. This was the first moment I felt that the mood had shifted, and I found him quite sinister. I have met him 3 or 4 times, but this time he seemed more agitated. He then said, "I just feel like getting a gun and shooting them all." I didn't get a sense who he was referring to as them all. I replied that if the defendant did, he would just hurt innocent people and ruin his life, and his family's life. He replied to say, "They're not innocent." At this point I felt intimidated. I had my back against the office door, and he was very close to me. The defendant then continued to talk about his music education and conspiracy theories, and said he would get some paperwork from the car, and then he left and went on to the car park to his car. I felt very unnerved and unsure of the best thing to do. The front door is quite flimsy and could be kicked in easily. I felt it was best to follow him out to the car park in case he got a weapon. I could see the defendant leaning over the driver's seat into the passenger footwell. He was appearing to reach for something, but I could not see what. I then saw him approaching the office again. This time he was carrying papers that he handed to me. He spoke to me about the conspiracy theory. At this point I was just relieved that he was only carrying papers. I said I would speak to Emma, and he left. I spoke to Emma on Thursday, as I was worried that I might be overreacting. I was concerned about the escalation in his behaviour. Emma asked me to contact the Chief Superintendent for Wolverhampton as Emma meets with him. Number 12. The defendant emailed Emma on Friday, but it was just one of his general rant emails. I understand that the police tried to arrest the defendant but were unable to find him. And finally, she states, I handed myself into the police on the morning of Saturday the 23rd of March. I believe that the facts stated in this witness statement are true. Signed Kate Pritchard, dated 27th of the 3rd, 19. This is proof that Kate Pritchard wrote 2 witness statements. Now, when did she inform me that Emma Reynolds did not want to meet me? I informed my legal team and the police that on 6 occasions, every time I went to make an appointment to see Emma Reynolds, Kate Pritchard always informed me the appointment book was full. And I stated to Kate Pritchard that comments I made about how useless city councillors were and MPs failing their constituents they want shooting, then made references to how they come banging on your door, promise you this and that to get elected. I was aware that I was being lied to but could not prove it. At this time, me and my legal team had no idea that Emma Reynolds made a witness statement to the police. The witness statement by Kate Pritchard is part truth, part lies, and she has failed to inform the police that on at least 6 occasions she had deliberately lied to me. She states, I said to the team that I would go and answer the door and speak to the defendant. At no time does she state that any member of the team informs her that Emma Reynolds MP does not want to see me. All I asked for was for her to make an appointment for a 45-minute meeting so Emma Reynolds could look at the test papers given to Wolverhampton City Council with an ABRSM Grade 8 private music teacher. Once a month for 6 months, I emailed Emma for a 45-minute meeting, and called at the office in an attempt to make an appointment. At no point was I ever informed that Emma Reynolds did not want to see me. On every visit, Kate Pritchard informed me every time that the appointment book was full. What Emma Reynolds stated to the police was false information that made me look like I was a very dangerous person. I had no idea that my MP, Emma Reynolds, did not want to see me. As for my mental health, had she seen both me and the ABRSM Grade 8 music teacher, she would have discovered everything I have stated to be 100% correct. Kate Pritchard mentions my conspiracy theories. They were not conspiracy theories, they were claims that fraud and deception were taking place, and the only way to find out if this was correct was have a meeting with an ABRSM Grade 8 music teacher. Kate Pritchard and Emma Reynolds failed to represent me honestly and fairly. Here are 2 emails from Emma Reynolds MP. Where do they state that she does not want to meet me? These are automatically generated replies. In court, my duty solicitor informed me that these comments Kate Pritchard said I had stated were very serious. He informed me that the magistrates were more likely to believe an MP and her caseworker than me. He persuaded me to plead guilty to a lesser charge. In court, the prosecution read out Emma Reynolds' statement and informed the magistrates that when Kate Pritchard informed me that she didn't want to meet me, that is when I made the comments. It is blatantly obvious that Wolverhampton City Council got Kate Pritchard to make a false account of what I stated to get me into trouble. I live in Wolverhampton and abide by the law. You have now seen my 2 videos that what I teach complies with .gov music teaching, and proof that both some head teachers and school music teachers have deliberately failed children in music education. I have only stood my ground and have refused to budge, and have stood firm in my claims that fraud and deception are taking place. Here we have Wolverhampton City Council Code of Conduct. So why have both the police and Wolverhampton City Council legal team hid a witness statement that is completely false from me and my legal team that has been used in court against me? They know this would bring false charges against me and will result in me getting a criminal record and a fine. This violates my human rights and has resulted in City Council employees breaking their code of conduct. Code of conduct for employees. Local government employees are expected to give the highest possible standard of service to the public. So what did I say to Kate Pritchard about Councillor Alan Butt? First of all, I never seen him at the PAC meeting. Alan Butt informed me at a party at Emma's office that he was having guitar lessons with the same person who taught my son guitar. Alan must now be aware that what is being taught in schools is useless. This guitar teacher teaches children who have school music lessons and cannot believe what is being taught in the school music lessons. I spoke to Alan about this and what he was being taught. He refuses to say the truth. So what did I say to Kate Pritchard about Councillor Claire Sim? I informed Claire Sim that refusing to meet me and look at the evidence was a failure to every child. I informed her every time we have a PAP meeting it is all the same old crap and being told there is no money available to tackle the issues. I pointed out she is useless and a waste of time. She had a big cheesy grin on her face and nodded in agreement with every word I stated. I pointed out to her that I will wipe that smile off her face by proving everything I have stated to be 100% correct. Kate Pritchard never mentioned this part.